If we say
Yeah,
it is the default mind.
nothing spiritual in my
No,
mind.
no, 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 just hold on. Is the default mind, is the
Yep.
default mind temporary or permanent?
No, of course it's temporary.
So you start searching for the discerning mind or discerning intellect.
Yeah, as soon as I reflect it and catch my mind, so I follow other direction of mind,
So
and
you're discerning. What is discerning intellect is simply the knowledge. What is knowledge? It is awareness. What is awareness? It is understanding. Then what happens to the discerning mind? It is already gone.
yeah,
What is temporary cannot last. But what is temporary cannot last. You see that what is temporary cannot last.
last year means it's not end.
Yeah, it cannot continue. It cannot continue forever. What I want to say, can anxiety, anger, can continue forever?
No, no, no.
Why? Because it is temporary. So then, what is permanent? That is what we are discovering. What is permanent is what we discover. For what is permanent will remain. But another part is also very important, our masters have contemplated and reflected. Another part is that you cannot undo knowledge. Knowledge means the truth. Truth means the existence. Existence means Sat. It is consciousness. So it is conscious, so it is Chit. And because it alone is truth in existence, so we have Sat, Chit, Anand. The entire journey of Eastern wisdom is finished. You need not to attend any more session.
Yes, but we cannot catch consciousness by mind.
Yes,
So we only what can we do? It's not follow that what is temporary.
yes. So we need to change the perception of default mind is taken as permanent. How come? How come? Because it depends on past impression, prarabdha. So now ask yourself a beautiful question. Are the past impressions or anger or anxiety, reaction, etc., are they permanent? Are they authorized occupant or occupant of the mind? If someone enters into your car and you rush, you say, no, you are unauthorized. You are not authorized. So, in that reference, I'm asking, is the anger, past impression, reaction are authorized owner of my mind? They are not. They cannot be. They are not. They cannot be. Why they
Question
cannot
is,
be?
who is give authorization?
Can you give me? Yes, at the time of the birth, they are not there. We were full of spontaneity, spontaneous consciousness. That is the proof. Great proof. So if that is the proof, then how come default mind became an authorized owner, claiming that I am an authorized owner because of ignorance? And what is the discerning intellect? It is the authorized owner. Why it is an authorized owner? Why? Knowledge, existence, consciousness, bliss. That is what we are searching. Now one more question. Uh, does the knowledge disappear if you do not know?
No.
Answer is big no. Yes. So that is what we are discovering, that I am real self. That is what we are discovering. Now a big no. But then what happens? The DM returns with a force, claiming I am an authorized owner. I am an authorized owner of mind or intellect, whatever you say. How can you say, now tell me, how can you say that this mind is, no, the real self is the authorized owner of the mind? Is the authorized occupant or owner of the mind? First time there is a consciousness, and that consciousness reflected into the mind. The mind is nothing but the reflected consciousness. So it is the first and only the authorized owner. It is the only authorized owner. It is the only authorized owner of.
Because without consciousness, mind not exist.
Mind cannot exist. Yes, you're right. So if it is the only authorized owner, why others claim that I am the authorized owner? There comes, many explanations. You can say ego, you can say delusion, you can say false, you can say ignorance, whatever you want to say. You say superimposition, you say desire, you say pleasure seeking from the world outside. In the presence of, ask me, you are answering the question. You are a teacher today. I am the seeker. I am asking the question. So, ask another question. You see, that is the process of contemplation and reflection. This is how we have to sit down and ask. Now, in the presence of ego, delusion, false, ignorance, superimposition, binding desire, pleasure seeking, the real does not exist.
No, the real exists always.
Real exists always. So if real exists always, if real self always exists, why I do not remind myself? Instead, I get involved and attached and likes and dislikes. Question is why? Why and why?
Avidya, wrong knowledge.
Yep, avidya, yes, wrong knowledge. Not only the wrong knowledge, that is one, that is one, that is one, it's a wrong knowledge, false knowledge, or ignorance, or you can say incomplete knowledge, that also works. But question is why? My default mind comes and claims it is right. Just see, find out. I should be angry over you. Why you did not complete this work? Really? Really? So by being
No.
angry, the work will be complete?
World is complete. Our understanding is not complete. Our knowledge is wrong.
Knowledge is wrong. So from where the wrong knowledge comes? From the default mind. Why the default mind behaves like this? Because it claims that it is right. We rationalize our anger, reaction, hesitation, killing, attraction, attachment. What should I do? If you are beautiful, I am attached to you. Really? Really?
So, because we are thinking the
Yeah, go ahead.
yes till we feel that the external world is real.
Yes. We can answer in many ways. Yes, we think that the external goal is real. And then why? Because I feel the world is real. How come? Because I feel the world outside is permanent. And after examination, I find it is not. So when I examination, I find it is not, I have a knowledge, I have a self-awareness, and that dissolves the default mind. I need not to run after it. I need not to crush it. I need not to make any effort. In the presence of the knowledge, the ignorance cannot stay. Like light simply dispels darkness. Knowledge is a knowledge practice? No, it is simply a presence, or you can say it is simply an awareness. Because without awareness, your knowledge cannot stand.
Yes, but our thinking process is based on the knowledge, and it can lead to external world, or it can lead to real self.
Yes. So in that knowledge, I have to see if that knowledge is of the temporary or incidental nature, or is this knowledge is permanent. That is the right knowledge. Otherwise, whatever the knowledge that I have which is temporary is not the right knowledge. But I can claim the wrong knowledge is the right knowledge. So there comes the poise. What is poise? Acronym. Acronym is what? POISE. Never forget this poise. I guided this doctor who is hardly 27-year-old, and he is progressing very fast. Let us see Poise is just in knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge is just an awareness. You can say, or you can simply say self-awareness, or you can simply say it is understanding. Self-awareness, understanding, knowledge, or you can say, I won't use the word cognitive behavior therapy. I will say cognition only, or recognition. Recognition method. Even if I say method, it becomes a practice. So I won't say it is a practice. It is understanding, it is awareness. So really it is awareness, and that will take me to that highest. Yes, let us see. In the beginning, you do the practice with eyes closed, and but when you do by the recording, you have to do the practice with eyes open, because even we don't allow the mind to feel as if it is a practice. But in the beginning we have to follow certain steps. So close your eyes. Eyes are closed and you are comfortable. And the same thing, you become aware of the place where you are sitting. That is an extra point or extra step we are introducing. Otherwise, a poise is just a knowledge. Now, so-called the knowledge, awareness, understanding, it is not a practice. But for the sake of understanding in the beginning, the place of where the body is sitting and the place of the body, be aware of the position and posture. Yes, you can also add being comfortable, moving the mind on the entire body from the top of the head to the toes, moving the mind on the skin of the body, and you experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Experience of the sensation, comfort, and steadiness is knowledge, is awareness, or it is a practice. I'm only talking about experience of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. And then being carefree. You already know what is being carefree. Can I say carefree means free from all cares done by the default mind, which is impulsive. It has an impulsive thought, behavior, action, reaction. So we simply recognize, I'm free, I'm not the default mind. I'm not the default mind. It means I'm not what default mind says. That recognition is there. Very good. If that recognition is there, so we laid the foundation. It is not required, but I just laid the foundation so that the practice becomes clear. Now the poise. The first is P. P means presence. Presence means notice. What I notice. What is going on in my mind? I notice, or I can say I observe. Do you need any practice? It's a knowledge. Presence, knowledge, self-awareness, or I can say self-awareness. or you become, or we can say paying awareness and attention. Oh, you make sure, make sure you are not doing anything. It is like moving from we discussed earlier, we move from the baseline or a person one to self-awareness. We move from the baseline to the self. Okay. Hey, where are you? Yes, I'm here. That is what your presence is. So in that presence is what? When there is a presence, yeah, you are self-aware. Obviously, you are aware. So when you are aware, then you notice. What you notice, whatever is happening. You see that whatever is happening, you're not doing anything. So now happening just outside, including the body, means your perception by the senses, feeling of temperature, sense touch, smell, or you can say sight in the mind, or the sound. You are listening to me, and happening within. So what is happening within? Thought, feeling, and emotion. So you just know your presence. I told you your presence. You notice. If you are present, if you are self-aware, if you are simply aware, obviously you know what's happening. There's a difference between, you know the difference between happening and doing. Happening is awareness. Happening is your presence, if I say so. And doing is always done by the default mind. Takes you to ignorance, if I say so, for your understanding. I'm again saying presence, presence. I'm explaining each bit of this poise method. It means you can use it anytime, anywhere. What I'm noticing thought is there, yes. Feeling is there, yes. Emotion is there, yes. Perception is there, yes. Memory is there, yes. I simply notice it's a happening. Is there any problem? No. Big no. Why? I'm in the mode of self-awareness. Now, in that self-awareness, knowledge is already there because you notice, so you are an observer, and that is the letter O. Oh, you did not tell me before. Yes, we are breaking up in the parts. When you break up in the parts, it becomes a method. But still it is not a method. We need to understand that. Oh, yes. So presence is there and I notice thought from the past has entered. It means I am an observer. So I broke up into the parts. First is the self-awareness and then the observer. It cannot be broken. And still for the sake of understanding. So I observe because I notice, I observe. So there are two things. There are two things. One is the presence, clear. And the second is the observer. But observer without observer, without observed cannot be present. Observer without observed cannot be there. Oh yes, because when I say I notice and I observe, I am an observer. So what I observe nothing. That is, even nothing is observed. But here the main thing, that I am an observer. I am an observer of what? Thought, feeling, emotions, sensations, memories, long list. Okay, yes, I agree. If your mind agrees, you are following. If mind doesn't agree, it is the default mind. So, I agree. So, when you agree, what it means? When you agree, what it means? You are in presence and observer. From there, you observe thought, feeling, and emotion, or whatever is there, thought, feeling, emotion, etc. Is it possible to say the moment any thought, feeling comes, just say, it is a thought, I am not a thought. You can expand that. So now you are not doing, you are knowing. Remember, knowing. Still you are not doing. I am upset, that is a thought. When you recognize that it is a thought, you are not upset, you are an observer. How do you know you are watching a film on the TV? Just see that on a TV. You know you are a watcher. Play is already pre-recorded. Pre-recorded film is playing. Pre-recorded film with all the plots, movement. You are watching. What you are watching is observed. We have to be very clear. Clear means knowledge, understanding, self-awareness. It is not a practice. Oh, it is not a practice. But the mind returns again. The default mind will return again and again, will create a doubt, no claiming at least I am thinking, and you see that I am thinking that I am not a thought. It is a greater ignorance that we will deal later. So, presence, observer, I reached to a point. I reached to an understanding, not reached by making any step. I reached to the understanding all thoughts, feeling, and emotion basically from the thought, and I am none of these thoughts. I am none of the thoughts. How big, how small, how relevant, how irrelevant. Because relevant, irrelevant, small, big, it depends on likes and dislikes. Okay, small and big depends on my likes and dislikes. So I'm just aware of that, and from that point we enter into the I. I means investigate, or you can say witness. Who does it? Discerning intellect. What is discerning intellect? Is knowledge. Witness. I say discerning intellect recognizes and put a stamp of authority. What is that authority? That knower and the known are two different things. Knower and the known are two different, separate things. The knower cannot become the known, known cannot become the knower. Okay, if that is say, if two are there, how do we recognize it? By witness. That is what the word I, letter I represents. Investigate the flow. Investigate the flow. Investigate the flow. Investigate the flow. Again, I'm using the word, I'm stressing it. Investigate the flow. Flow means movement. Knowledge doesn't move. Knowledge doesn't move. Flow means movement. Knowledge doesn't move. So we can safely discover a witness. Witness means here is a knower, here is known. Where is the problem of understanding? Where is the problem of understanding? Say, for example, I am totally upset. You see clearly. First, you see clearly. You are not the thought by presence and observer. And then now you witness clearly. Now how? by knower and known, seer and seen. Oh, seems interesting. No, it is not only interesting, it is transformative. So you investigated the flow with clarity. How? By knowledge, by understanding. Huh? You investigated the flow. That flow obviously is from the mind, but behind that, okay, now question comes, you recognize, so you see that what happened now. You have P, have O, have I, what it reveals to you. What it reveals to you. Oh, there is a space between seer and seeing, knower and known. If they are separate, there is a space. That is what the letter S is. P-O-I-S. You are forcing my mind to accept. No, I'm not forcing your mind. I'm asking you to see it clearly. When I say, I know you, obviously you are separate from me. When you are separate, there is always a space. That is how I know that you are separate from me. How do I know that you are separate from me? So, do you want to say there is a presence, means self-awareness, or you can use the word, maybe for the time being, cognition. Okay. So in that cognition, in that presence, in that presence, that notices there is a happening, and in that happening means you notice, you observe. Oh, so the observer is already there. Yes, observer is already there. So if the observer is there, it cannot be without observed. Oh, so that is what you separate by I investigate. Oh my goodness, it is already there. I simply become aware. Investigate, okay. But if I, so-called, if I have P, O, I, naturally there is a space. How come? I told you already what you told me. I don't remember. How come? I say you are an observer, you witness. Knower and the known, so there is already a distance. Why they are separate? So in the separation, the space is there. So that, how come? That space is always there. You did not create it. You reveled now, not tomorrow, not after 1 year of practice you will find the space. Space is already there. That space, recognition of the space means I'm living within. So you recognize the space, the last letter E. The moment you recognize the space, just say Om Shanti. That's all. That is all, yes. You are doing or nothing, doing nothing. You recognize Om Shanti is there. I am the real self. Oh, what? Yes. Now the question, again the doubt comes. We have to remove all the doubts in order to awaken ourselves. What is that doubt comes? Pick up the doubt form so that you can understand. Shanti. So, how come gave you enough time? It is because of the default mind, and you are not present. You are absent-minded. How come you fail to recognize? I'm simply saying Om Shanti, or I can say dropping Om Shanti in that space. You are not present-minded. No, you are absent-minded. Is it right? Why we will take up later. And already answer is there, absent-minded, because it is the default mind. So it got, why the default mind pushed me to engage, to associate, to attach, to cling, to like, to dislike. Whose fault is this? My fault. Who is this my? My is default mind. That is ignorance. That is delusion. That is suffering. That is pain. And at long last you can. I am simply saying presence. See, we have been spending time in doing the practice of the poise. Otherwise, this poise is not even a minute of practice. It is simply an awareness. Poise I too. But still, we are doing the practice to help us understand. It is not a practice. We are spending time over the practice to help us understand, or you can say, or I can say, to bring default mind to discerning intellect to understand. That is why we are spending time. Otherwise, this poise is all inclusive. All inclusive? I told you, poise is not a method. It is you are present. Yes, I am present. So the presence, so the self-awareness. Very good, so the self-awareness. Very good. So if the self-awareness, awareness is there. So awareness is there, it means, the observer has to be there. Or you notice. Do you notice you're self-aware? Yes. Still you notice. You are an observer. Observer is already there. So when it is already there, you don't practice to create an observer. Oh yes, you do not create an observer, but what will happen? But the default mind will say, I created an observer. My goodness, that is craziness. And then presence, observer, they both are there. Yes, both are there, and there is a recognition. I am none of the thoughts in this journey today. I am none of the thought or feeling. That means what? Means I investigate by knowledge. So investigate, then I there's a witness. It simply means presence, observer, investigate are already there. You are driving a car on the highway. Observer knows how much there is a car in the front, on the right, and the left, and it witnesses. Based on it, it drives. Based on it drives. So it means the space is also there. The space is naturally there. Right, the space is naturally there. So the space is naturally there. What is this space? What is this space? It is consciousness. So in this so-called practice, we say it is Om Shanti. You recognize, you are not doing the mantra. You are not doing mantra japa. You are not doing japa. You recognize Om Shanti as the space. That is what I am saying. I am not saying, you do the Om Shanti with 10 million times and you have found the highest state of mindfulness. No! You recognize it is already there. Oh, it is already there. So we started with what? We started with doing nothing. We learned that we're doing nothing. We started. So you see that I'm making it clear. It's all about the knowledge. We started with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your Buddha palms, place it in your eyes, open the eyes inside. Know your experiences, bring the hands down. What happened now? This you can say this is one of the highest practice, provided we do it with the presence. That is why I made the P word very important. Presence, self-awareness, notice. But if you miss the presence, you miss the rest. Why you miss the presence? Because of the default mind. Default mind we have already understood. It is impulsive, it is habitual, it works with reference to the ignorance, delusion, impurities. But why? It claims that it is the right knowledge. It says, I have a right to get attached, I have a right of likes and dislikes. If you are cute and beautiful girl, so I have to say that you are cute. Masters are saying, no way. But check, is there a space? Why the space is gone? Attachment.